Tech behemoth Apple, though, hitting record highs today as well, with a market cap of about $1.4 trillion. Our next guest says Apple has a potential to hit $2 trillion in market value by the end of 2021. Joining me now is Dan Ives, Wedbush Securities Managing Director. Dan, I have to ask, so bullish. You've been bullish on Apple for quite some time, but $2 trillion in market cap, it's going up against Microsoft. It's essentially neck and neck. What's your bull case here?
Look, I mean, it's really been twofold. The first part has been through the pandemic, that services, which we believe is worth 500 to 600 billion, was going to help them navigate the storm. And that's really what's happened. And now it's the drum roll to what I believe is the biggest product cycle in at least 5 years, potentially, in the last decade in terms of iPhone 12. It's the 5G product cycle. And just put numbers around it. 350 million of 950 million iPhones worldwide have not upgraded in 3.5 years. So I think you start to put that into sort of the cycle. I think this is a stock that makes new highs. And ultimately, I think it's a $400 plus stock when we look at over a year.
You have to push back a little bit because there's so much bullishness around 5G. We actually just don't have any idea if it's even going to come out this product cycle. So do you at all think that Wall Street or even yourself is a little too bullish on 5G?
Yeah, it's a great point. I can tell you from all of our checks, we believe that the 5G component is going to be launched as we go into late October. But you take a step back, 5G is a multi-year cycle. This is not just about this year. It's about over the next, call it 12, 18, 24 months. And when you look at Apple, that's really going to be the gasoline in the tank to this next part of the growth cycle, which is why I believe $2 trillion is on the horizon. They've navigated through the pandemic. Numbers are low in terms of street. Now you go into a massive iPhone cycle, and I think it's a re-rating that's going to happen. Remember China, 20% of overall iPhones. Right now we're seeing demand there spike in May for Apple.
And Dan, obviously wearables doing really well as just the entire services segment of Apple's business. But I want to get your thoughts on Apple TV and how that is panning out. Just given all the competitors out there right now, do you think it's going to finally start making money for the company sometime in the near future?
Yeah, look, the problem there is that they've built the house, the mansion, but there's no furniture in the house. It comes down to when you have 9 shows, it's a content-driven solution. Right now we're talking 15, 20 million consumers, but remember from a subscriber perspective, most of those are free. So I think as we go into the next 12, 18 months, I continue to strongly believe that Apple will acquire a Hollywood studio from a content perspective. I think the writing's on the wall. That will be the catalyst for that to get to what I believe is 100 million potential subscribers in the next 3 to 4 years.
And Dan, while we have you, of course, we have to talk about Tesla, the company also hitting record highs today. We had you on the 1 p.m. hour with Zach Guzman last week talking about your call on Tesla here and SpaceX. What's your argument there? Where do you think Tesla's going here, and what's your price target again?
Yeah, it comes down to China. I mean, if you look at today, the April, you had 3.5K units. Right now, we're looking at 11,000 in May. So you weren't on a trajectory with 100,000 units coming out of China from Model 3. I think China's worth $300 base case, but potentially $400, bull case. I think you could be looking at a 1350 stock. That's bull case in terms of how I see Tesla. Remember, this is one economic rebound, front and center. This is a 2-fold recovery, just like Apple. I think that's going to be the next phase. You'll have a 4-digit stock potential by the end of this week.
All right, Dan Ives of Wedbush Securities, thank you so much for your breakdown on Apple and Tesla.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.